know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Ain't no mystery, man.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you though.
My son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man.
King Harris's legal mess has shaken his entire family to the core. Things hit rock bottom when Tiny filed for divorce from T.I., a shocking move for fans who had followed their long relationship. But insiders say the split wasn't just about marriage problems. Tiny reportedly broke after seeing T.I. turn his back on King following his highly publicized arrest. While Tiny stood by her son, even in his worst moments, T.I.'s response was distant, almost as if he had disowned King. That cold reaction created a rift Tiny couldn't ignore. What stunned people even more was T.I.'s silence. Instead of fighting for his marriage, he seemed detached, fueling speculation that cracks had been there for years. King's reckless arrest in October 2024 became the final breaking point, throwing the family into chaos. Relatives turned against each other, and whispers turned into an all-out feud. Now, instead of unity, the Harris family is fractured. The question remains, are T.I. and Tiny to blame for enabling King too long, or did King throw it all away, chasing a fake gangster lifestyle? Either way, Tiny and T.I. is split isn't just the end of a marriage, it marks the collapse of a family once thought to be unshakable.
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well? Alright, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety, you gotta take.
There's no safety. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here.
King was pulling out of a gas station in his BMW, driving wild as usual when he nearly smashed into a cop car.
Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. Alright, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. I'm gonna be at the church. Alright, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure this.
Just take the step to the side for me.
The timing couldn't have been worse. The moment officers pulled King over, the situation spiraled from bad to disastrous. As they approached the car, the strong stench of weed hit them immediately. Seconds later, they spotted a gun tucked in his waistband. At that point, things were already looking grim. The cops quickly confiscated the weapon and slapped cuffs on him. But the real bomb dropped when they ran his name. Records showed an outstanding warrant from 2022 tied to overspeeding, driving on a suspended license, and even a DUI. Suddenly, King wasn't just dealing with one bad night. His past had come back to bury him. If he had just kept his cool, he might have walked away. Instead, his old mistakes came crashing down all at once. And the moment that arrest footage hit the internet, the backlash was brutal. Viewers tore him apart online, and one thing was painfully clear in that video. King finally realized he had crossed a line he couldn't walk back from. This wasn't about chasing clout anymore.
Give me my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his going to prison. If you got to keep this up, they're going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out.
This time, the regret was written all over King's face. He seemed to know the only way to make things even slightly better was to stay calm and cooperate, and for someone like King, that took serious restraint. Fans had gotten used to seeing him wild out on social media, but the arrest video showed a completely different side. Even the officer seemed surprised at how composed he was. Still, it didn't change the outcome. King was booked into Cobb County Jail before being transferred to Pickens County once the old warrant was recalled. When the footage went viral, the internet showed no mercy. One comment that blew up called him a trust fund prison punk, and people couldn't stop laughing. Another dragged him for acting like money could save him while pretending he came from nothing. But the real twist? King wasn't the only one paying the price. The fallout ripped straight through his family, widening the cracks in T.I. and Tiny's marriage until they finally split. T.I. tried to put on the face of a heartbroken father, but Tiny wasn't buying it, and she had receipts to back up her anger.
I mean, this ain't your f***ing restaurant. This ain't your f***ing restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit.
Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
In her divorce papers, Tiny didn't hold back. She flat out named King's downward spiral as the breaking point. What stunned everyone even more was T.I.'s reaction. He didn't fight to save the marriage, didn't try to patch things up. In his eyes, he had already done his job as a father, and King had no one to blame but himself. As cold as it sounded, there was truth behind it. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral for reckless behavior, T.I. went online, practically begging him to slow down. He warned his son that the path he was on would only end one way behind bars. He even admitted he'd been telling Tiny and King's grandmother for years that someone needed to step in before King threw his future away. And I wasn't speaking as just a father, he was speaking from experience. He had been to prison, paid the price, and didn't want to see King make the same mistakes. But Tiny wasn't buying that excuse. Instead, she flipped his own words against him. In the divorce, she argued that if T.I. had truly stepped up as a father, if he had been more present, more firm, King wouldn't have spiraled so badly. And for once, plenty of people felt Tiny wasn't wrong for calling him out.
Silver spoon. I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
know you.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though. I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
From the very start, King's upbringing was complicated. T.I. was in and out of prison when Tiny first got pregnant, and by the time he was finally free for good, King had already grown up without a steady father figure. Even then, T.I.'s presence didn't change much allegedly. King was sent to live with his grandmother for most of his childhood. King himself has admitted that, despite his parents' fame and fortune, he didn't grow up in luxury. Life at grandma's was different, and he claimed the only times he was really allowed at his parents' house were when the cameras were rolling for their reality show. With an upbringing like that, it's not surprising that King eventually started looking for attention in all the wrong places. Every stunt he pulled pushed him closer to a future behind bars. One of the most infamous examples came in 2022 during the Waffle House meltdown. All it took was a worker putting pickles on his order to send King into a screaming fit. He filmed the entire confrontation and blasted it online, thinking it made him look tough. Instead, it backfired. Fans saw him as nothing more than a spoiled kid throwing a tantrum. The backlash was swift, and people started asking why T.I was letting his son spiral unchecked. When T.I later posted that video, warning King to slow down, Tiny was furious. In her eyes, those fatherly lectures should have happened years earlier before things got this far.
Treat mine like you treat yours.
Why y'all got so much time, bro? Why y'all always gotta have?
What is it about
It's not illegal to have.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle, it don't look legitimate, sir.
Because I'm not supporting no whore. I'm not.
I ain't doing.
I'm not.
What kind of parents don't support their kids in their goddamn slide? Bigger than you popping it. And then got up there. So 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too like that.
Well, when you got it ain't it ain't.
I know that.
When y'all got around those people, they call it's not the possession of and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For a while, things between T.I and King seemed to cool down, but that peace didn't last. T.I's disappointment eventually boiled over, and it all came to a head during an Atlanta Falcons game when father and son clashed in front of the entire crowd. The spark came when King insisted he hadn't grown up with privilege. That comment hit a nerve. T.I snapped back, reminding him that he'd been handed a silver spoon since the day he was born. But King wasn't backing down, and before anyone realized what was happening, the argument turned physical. The viral clip showed just how heated it got. T.I looked less like a father and more like a man ready to square up with anyone, even his own son. Within hours, the video racked up thousands of likes and comments. Many people online praised T.I for finally checking King, saying it was discipline that should have happened years ago. One viral comment compared it to an overdue library book. When you don't check the problem checks you. Others weren't as entertained, pointing out that King had clearly been spiraling for too long, and what the family really needed wasn't more fights, but serious prayers.
I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
But Tiny wasn't having it. She despised the way T.I humiliated King in public, and when she got home, things only got worse. She discovered that T.I had kicked King out of the house, forcing him to fend for himself. To her, that was crossing the line. That harsh decision became yet another crack in their marriage, one that eventually pushed her to walk away for good. In her divorce papers, Tiny dropped even more bombshells. She called out T.I long history of cheating and his violent past, admitting that for years she had watched him step out of their marriage while pretending he had changed. But the lies piled up too high, and by the time King spiraled into his own chaos, Tiny wasn't just angry at her son, she was looking straight at the man who raised him. What broke her most was realizing King wasn't creating his own path at all. He was following the same cycle. T.I once lived jail time, reckless choices, and a false tough guy image. And when T.I disowned King after his arrest, Tiny finally snapped. In her eyes, he wasn't rejecting his son, he was rejecting his own reflection.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired, you ain't getting no sleep, and the truth be told, before this look, I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house.
That's exactly why those divorce papers hit the table. Tiny had reached her breaking point. Meanwhile, King's behavior showed just how desperate he was for his father's approval. After his arrest footage went viral, he doubled down, constantly flashing guns online. To some, it looked like he was chasing street cred on purpose, like getting locked up was his way of proving he was real. Others said he was finally earning the rugged image he'd been chasing for years. But many believed the truth was simpler. King just wanted T.I.'s respect, and honestly, it almost seemed to work. Remember when T.I. and Boosie had to check their sons on camera? King and Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, were filming a music video together, but instead of focusing on the song, they were waving guns around like they were in a trap house. That's when the dad stepped in. The disappointment in T.I.'s voice was crystal clear as he pressed King right there on the spot. He asked him why he was so focused on looking tough when he had girls standing around who were probably laughing at the whole act. It turned into a full lecture, no filters, no sugarcoating. T.I. warned them both that one wrong move with those guns or getting caught with something illegal could end their careers and ruin their lives. He wasn't joking, and neither was Boosie. For a moment, it seemed like T.I. was genuinely trying to drill it into his son's head that this path only led one way, straight to jail. But when Tiny heard about the incident, she wasn't impressed. She was furious, not because she approved of King flexing guns, but because she felt T.I.'s lecture came years too late. In her eyes, King was only imitating the same behaviors he had seen from his father growing up. And then came the final straw, King's baby mama drama. On a podcast, T.I. casually dropped the news that he was about to be a grandfather again because King was expecting a child. Tiny couldn't believe her ears. To her, it sounded like T.I. was endorsing their son's reckless decisions instead of holding him accountable. The situation got even messier when rumors spread about King's baby mama, Big Nana. Whispers claimed she was much older than King, with some even accusing her of targeting him for money. But King didn't care. He was hyped about becoming a dad, and nothing could kill that excitement. In November 2024, King proudly welcomed his son into the world. He shared every detail online, bragging non-stop and dropping a track titled Dear Son. The post read, November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome King Jr. Time to take over. For a brief moment, it looked like fatherhood might be the thing to finally ground him. Tiny actually saw a glimmer of hope. Watching King step up as a present father gave her some comfort, like maybe, just maybe, he was trying to correct the mistakes his own dad made when he was a baby. But the timing couldn't have been worse. While King was online, flexing his proud dad moment, that arrest footage was still making the rounds, reminding the world that his legal troubles weren't going anywhere. T.I. tried to show some support publicly, but the disappointment kept slipping through, and for Tiny, that was it. She might have endured the cheating, the past scandals, and even the public fights, but realizing T.I. was so ashamed of King that he didn't even want to share a roof with him, that shattered her completely. So, when the divorce papers finally landed, it wasn't a shock. It was simply the final blow to a marriage that had been splintering for years. Tiny's done. No more covering, no more protecting T.I. The only question left is what will T.I. do now? Because if he stays silent, just like he did with King, then this family might already be finished for good, and that's the full breakdown. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this.